Thank you guys for joining me for yet another episode of Keeping It Real with America's Supermom. I'm excited about my next guest. This is Will Hale. We met together, yes, again on Clubhouse. Okay. I think he was one of the first few people that I met when I got on the app back in January. And we've kind of seen each other around on the app. You don't know much about it unless you get on there to kind of understand how everything works. But I'm excited to have him here today because, one thing about Clubhouse is you have some very deep, connected conversations. And so it's so fun to see everybody somewhat in person on video. So I'm excited to have Will with me today. And before we get started into, I think we got connected on work smarter, not harder. So we both are like minded with doing the work, but making it easier, okay, if we can. So before we get into some of those topics, I want to give Will the opportunity to introduce himself.
Why, thank you. It's great to be here. I've kind of, actually, this past year, I've started to have a more holistic approach to what I do and not
Mm.
compartmentalize things as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been doing music for kids full time for the last several decades,
Wow.
and it's a great job. I really do what I love. It's cool. But a lot of the things I've done behind the scenes, for a long time, and my own personal sort of balance and harmony kind of practices that I do is kind of behind the scenes, because with kids you don't really have to say it, they just do it. I just show them how to do it. So we do things like breathing
Mm.
and feeling their heartbeat and things like that. But I'm kind of like coming out with it now and just sharing kind of what's behind the scenes of what makes it work. um,
Mm.
I, uh, I came up with the idea. People ask me, what do you do? And I say, I'm a greatness amplifier. And then they go, huh?
Mm.
What? and
I
and
love that.
yeah, and engagement specialist and experience generator. So that's what I do. If you're ever curious.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah, because people, if I used to say, well, I do music for kids, and almost always the response would be, oh, like Barney the dinosaur. No, not exactly.
Hey,
Um,
my daughter loved Barney. Okay, that was
yeah,
one
but
thing that would sit her down and be quiet. Okay, so I love Barney. That worked out for me.
yeah. Well, Barney's actually good for like the up to about 3-year-old. There's something about the energy and the way he talks, but at a certain age, you can kind of outgrow that. And then you can get into Will Hale music. And one of
Mm-hmm.
my slogans had been when I first started out, music you never have to outgrow. So my music is very, I mean, it's just G rated. Doesn't mean it has to be cheesy just because it's G rated. It's really fun, rockin',
Mm.
awesome musicians that I work with. So. I
I
just
love the fact that I love the greatness amplifier. And I think that's amazing because, I don't know, words really get my attention. And talk to us about the power of music because so often I think a lot of people don't realize music in commercials, music on, movies, what kind of impact that it can have on our life.
hmm. I might go in a different direction than you might expect.
Mm-hmm.
But back to, I also do this thing with heartful harmony and my heart and rhythm and breathing. That's like one of the main things I do at my concerts is a lot of breathing. Like when you get a
Mm.
group of kids, and anybody with like 15 kids and grandchildren, this is a
Mm-hmm.
good tip. You might like this. But
I
breathe.
got my pen and paper.
But the quickest, fastest, easy way to refresh or recenter a room is just take a breath together. So if I have a bunch of kids, say I got 40 kids, and we all just go like that, one or two times, and the whole room is back synced together again. And here's another thing you might not notice, but if you've ever noticed, like when people sing together, say like a choir or a church, you're doing
Mm-hmm.
hymns, or you're doing hymns. The really important part to watch the next time is not just the words, but watch where people breathe together. Because when you have a whole bunch of people and they're all taking a breath at the same time. That's part of what really builds the community and builds the connection. That's why so many things like that have singing together as part of the community, because it really
Mm.
anchors the community. Little hidden gem there.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, because, that's the thing that we don't really recognize, all the, what's the word I want to say? Ways that we can imprint certain things. You know, music can be a great catalyst for that, I would think. As you kind of
Yeah.
reprogram yourself from some of negative thoughts or something like that, you can incorporate it with some kind of music.
Yeah, if you think about where music comes from, sometimes I like to say, our heart is a drum and our breath is a song. That's really where
Mm.
music comes from. I mean, the rhythm, the beat of music comes from our heartbeat. And, drums, drumming, and that is all from our heartbeat. And the same thing with our breath. It's breath that gives power to the words, and and it's part of the song.
That's amazing. Now, so do you write your own lyrics? I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, I do. I write a lot of my own music. I like to do original music. What's great with kids is they don't know any of it anyway, so it's always good. but I, but I do have
You
to get
definitely know
them.
your audience. Okay,
But
that I like that.
but the thing is, but that's why I have to be a really good experience generator and engagement specialist, is because they have to be able to jump on it the first time they hear it. They've never heard it before, and by the time we're done with the song,
Mm.
they know how it goes, and there's some kind of actions or something that goes with it. So.
You
But
mean, oh,
there's
so you've got the little dance movements with it?
oh yeah, there might be actions type things,
Oh,
forgotten
okay.
song, inch by inch and row by row, that kind of thing. But mostly we
Okay.
do a lot of air guitar jamming.
Okay.
you know, that's sort of my specialty. That's the only instrument I've really mastered is air guitar.
Okay.
But I
Hey, do you know they made money off that thing, right? There was some
oh
kind
yeah,
of game that was, yeah, I can't remember what it was.
guitar game.
Um,
Actually,
yeah.
if you want to hear something really funny that most people don't know about me, is I actually was in the National Air Guitar Championship. There really is such a thing, like real air
Mm.
guitar. And it was in Minneapolis, and it was a sold out 400 plus show, 21 and
What?
older. You had to pay $15 and be over 21 to watch people play air guitar. I know,
Go
go
figure.
figure.
Now,
And it
when
was
was
fun.
this?
Oh, this was a few years ago. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Wow.
It was pretty fun, but
That
um,
sounds like fun.
yeah, they
Yeah.
get
Did they
really
give you
kind of
guys
wild.
certificates and stuff or t-shirts?
Yeah, I just kind of went for fun. I kind of got the senior award, for being the elder statesman of air guitar.
Hey, you're a real trailblazer. I love it. Okay.
Yeah,
It's all in how you look at it, right?
yeah.
Because, greatness amplifier. I love
I,
that.
I mean, that's truly how I got into. That's how I got into the music business. Was playing guitar on tennis racket. With my friends when we were kids. That
Mm,
was part of how I got inspired. Like, oh yeah, I want to play a guitar.
I love that. Yeah, that's good. So, Clubhouse, how did you get on Clubhouse? What was it that got you on there?
Oh, good question. My friend Billy, that I've written songs with and performed with for a long time, he's one of my buddies, and he invited me to come on, and I was kind of like, oh man, I don't need any more platforms and stuff to do. And actually, I've been hearing quite a buzz about it. I knew quite a few people that were doing it and really raving about it, and it's like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. But anyway, he got me in. Once I got in, I was like, just I've been on it every day since. Right? You
No,
can really,
it
if
is.
you ever, yeah, man, it's just like,
It's like,
oh,
where have you been all my life? You know what I
like
mean?
I'm here with you right now because of Clubhouse, right? We connect with so
Yes.
many people. Actually, Kim, that we met through, Kim and Richie, I'd seen them on podcasts and we'd done some webinar stuff together, but I never really interacted with them that much. And now I see them 3 times a week,
Yeah.
and it's
It's
great. It's really
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the same
Yeah.
thing in the music business. I mean, I'm not promoting my music so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a rock star or anything. I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
just with the career that I have. That's very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the people you can hang out with on Clubhouse is pretty cool, and just
It is.
anywhere. and really all over the world, and it's a blast.
It's so funny how everybody is so down to earth. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like at first you're like, oh my goodness, is that really whoever, you know? And you find out that they are just real people. I mean, and you just have these conversations, create these communities. You know, we got the what, work smarter, not harder. It's been a while since I've been in there, but it's like, you know, you have like minded. It's just, it's so much straight to the point. You know, you cut out a lot of the noise when
right.
you have these topics that you really gravitate towards. So that's the part that I love.
Yeah, it's like really real. People can just be themselves and just be
Hmm.
natural. And, from the music side too, is like, to be able to work with people, and it takes down the facade, It's like
Hmm.
people have this whole glamour thing, or even within business, you get
Hmm.
entrepreneurs. Oh, you make how many jillion figures per year, but when you start to talk to these people and hear what, they go through on a daily basis, you really start to appreciate it, and um, see that they're all humans too, and it's really cool. I think it works both ways. I think.
So true. Yeah, and it's so funny. It's like a you understand the highs and lows because you know one minute you're on the stage as a moderator, the next minute you're in the audience. I mean, it's like it really helps you keep stuff in perspective and remain humble. I think.
Right. Well, I'm a big
Mhm.
fan of the small rooms anyway, where
Me too.
you can really connect with people and talk with people, and
Hmm.
it's just every room is a treasure. I mean, I've got my own
Yeah.
club. I've got my own club now, the Heartful Harmony Club, and that's
Hmm.
been building up, and that's cool. And
I'm going
so
to have to
people,
come visit. Now, what days do you
yeah.
usually do you have something every day?
Well, my regular rooms are Tuesday evenings, so I cut my room short to be here with you tonight. And
Oh, appreciate that.
was great, but it was a good room. Actually, been trying to do some shorter rooms. And
Hmm.
Thursday afternoons, I also found that a lot of people do morning things or evening things. So I'm trying like a
Hmm.
midday kind of refresh and get recentered in the middle of the day. Plus, it's
Hmm.
interesting. Another thing that's cool about Clubhouse is I can do, say, a 1 o'clock room in the afternoon here, and it's still great time for people in the UK or Europe and
Right.
stuff. So there's always somebody awake somewhere in the world.
It is so true. And there are some diehard people that will be on there all hours. It's amazing. You know, you're never alone on Clubhouse. That's for sure.
That's
You can
true.
find somebody to talk to. So I think that's awesome. So that is great. So how are you liking having a club and everything? You like that?
Yeah, I think it's great. That's kind of my vision, and wanting to. Well, the whole idea is it's the Heartful Harmony Club, but then
Mm-hmm.
starting to have like that as the umbrella. But then, like, for years I've done this thing with, say, Heartful Parenting or Heartful Parents or
Mm.
Heartful Business or Heartful Cook or Heartful Artists. So
That's great.
there's all these little sort of sub rooms, and I'm just getting to the point where other people are starting to host rooms because I can't host like a jillion rooms all the time. But if I can get other people that are passionate about something,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's great to have other people help, or do a music
Mm-hmm.
room, as long as it's heart related. Anything heart related, which is pretty much life.
I love that. I love that because it helps build that brand. And hey, it sounded like chicken soup of the soul or something. You keep it
Oh
going, and
yeah, I would like that. That would be
yeah,
great.
you've got sounds like some music opportunities, book deals, journals, or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing about Kim, our mutual friend, Kim Sutton, is
Mm-hmm.
she talks about multi-passionate entrepreneurs. And that's another thing
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, that's why you got to work smarter when you're multi-passionate, because that's
I'm
kind of the way I am too. I've got 3,000 pages written of stuff I've written. I've got songs, I've got, this Heartful Harmony stuff.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
It's
wish I had,
nonstop entertainment over here. That was
I know, I
wrong.
wish I had some more entertainment over here. It's really boring.
Yeah, you know, and I'm actually not at home. I'm visiting my mom. We had a death in the
Oh,
family,
yeah,
unfortunately.
you said
So,
that. Sorry to
yeah,
hear that.
so I have four of my kids with me. So it's like they feel like that they are in seventh heaven because, you know, not all their siblings are here. They're just getting back from the park. So just kind of a fun thing for them for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got
Mm-hmm.
experience in that category. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep rambling on Clubhouse because that's just something else. But in a metaphor, I guess it kind of works too, though, is the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
of, we read somebody's bio, it could be
Mm-hmm.
your bio on Facebook, it could be your bio anywhere. But there's like so much that's not in someone's bio, of
Mm-hmm.
all of our life experience. And that's what's interesting, say on Clubhouse or having a real conversation like this, where you really start to get to know people behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's so true. So, what do you feel that you've learned that has really impressed you the most about yourself during this past year, with the pandemic? Because, we now are in a space to we're kind of, moving forward into what we want for the approaching the end of 2021. And what do you think has really helped you to be able to kind of make this transition during this difficult time?
Well, I had plenty of reasons I could have been stressed out if I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I basically, as a performer, 90% of my work went away.
Mm.
At the same time, it's been really rich and plentiful in other projects that I've done. Um, I'll say one of the s- one of the saving graces of this past year is someone I've worked with for quite a few years, Panache Desai. Panache Desai.
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard of him, but
Mm-mm.
on March 16th, when the pandemic kind of first started, he had just written a book. It was just on the bestsellers list, and had this whole book tour all planned and booked and everything with events. And then the pandemic thing came, and he had to kind of quit everything. So he started doing these daily meditations. Like every morning, he does a meditation. We're over 400 consecutive days. He's done a meditation
Wow.
every single day, and he calls it call to calm. It's his call to calm meditations, and it's been like just an amazing touch point to stay centered and calm through the whole thing. and
Wow.
and the real testimonial is my mom. For some reason, my mom got on the first call with me, and she's
Mm-hmm.
been on every single call. She's like in her 80s, and
Wow.
every single call, and she's gone through this whole past year amazingly. She's in less pain. She's happier than she's ever been. And she's just like not stressed by the whole thing. So, I mean, it's just
Wow.
really, and he's still doing it, by the way.
That's
Call to,
amazing.
calltocalm.com. I actually bought that domain, calltocalm.com, because I wanted to help promote him because he's doing something
Yeah.
great. And it's all free. I mean, he's just amazing how much he gives. And it's building a whole community. It's not just me and him. There's like 10,000 people every morning
That
that
is
come
awesome.
together to bring harmony and calm in the world. I mean, it's not really socially appropriate to be calm and happy the past year, but
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to do it. That's just what I'm kind of into. So,
I
and
love
I
that. Calltocalm.com.
calltocalm.com. And another
Okay.
thing I love about the past year too is how many people are getting back in touch with nature and the
Yes.
environment. That's another big passion of mine, is nature and trees and things like that. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
really helped people. Again, we're getting back to our natural rhythm thing. We've
Mm-hmm.
been just as a species, we've been really out of balance for a long time. So now that people are getting more connected to nature, they're hopefully getting their own harmony restored more. At least recognize the value of it now. People recognize, and same with families, even with schools and kids. I mean, it's like, I think the idea of having more outdoor, um, kind of environmental based education opportunities is going to be really cool. Like, let kids play in the mud. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. I tell you, this is great. I'm looking at my thing is you gotta love technology. My computer is saying crazy stuff over here, so I might have to come on my phone. And the joys of technology. You gotta live and you learn. But
Joys
I
of
think that is great.
technology.
I think that's great about the meditation. so many people, I think they get nervous and they say, I don't know anything about. I'm going to come on here and
There
remove
you
that.
are.
Okay. Yeah, my computer is saying crazy stuff.
Oh, okay. That's what was going on. I wasn't sure what was happening.
So now we're moving over to my phone.
Oh, okay. Looks
That's the,
quite clean.
America's Supermom. You got to have a
You
lot of
are
little tools in your toolbox,
super
okay?
tech mom.
Learning every day. This is for sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I'd love to think about the meditation because I think that's so important for us to realize that we have to really change our mindset about stuff.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
part of what I do, with my Heartful Harmony thing is it's really super simple, super easy. Anybody can do it, and I consider it a skill. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that you can just learn. And actually, like talking about Clubhouse, I can teach it to people in one room. That's sort of like what I do with kids. I mean, a lot of times with kids, I've got one chance. I've got 45 minutes to teach them something, and I may never see them again. So it's kind of the same thing. So somebody comes into one of my rooms in Clubhouse, or we do a little workshop. In 15, 20, half an hour, they can learn how to do it and do it on their own. So the three phases are really simple: just feeling your heartbeat, being aware of your breath, and just relaxing. And what happens when you
Mm-hmm.
do those three things, it syncs up all of your natural body rhythms: your heartbeat rhythm and your breath rhythm, and then your brain waves in your body all sync together. So something really amazing happens. And I like to think of it like
That's
when you turn
awesome.
on a light switch, you don't have to understand everything about electricity, right? You just turn on the light switch and the light comes on.
Okay.
Well, there are reasons, and I could go into great depth about why that works and how it works and what it does. Um, but just by doing that, say feeling your physical heartbeat, being aware of your breath, and relaxing your body, those three simple things can have a huge effect, a huge, gigantic effect. And what happens is when that starts to get to be your natural rhythm, it takes a little while, truthfully, to learn it and practice. It's surprising how difficult it is for some people to even feel their heartbeat. I would almost dare you to
Wow.
try that right now. But that's actually really common. People don't even feel their own heartbeat. I mean, that's kind of weird, but it's really common. Trust me, a lot of people
Yeah.
do that. But I think part of that is
Well,
if when people,
I've learned a lot about the heartbeat having a lot of kids. They would be going crazy, and you just lay on your chest. They just get really calm and everything. Because I would nurse my children, so that was the thing.
yeah, yeah, definitely has a rhythm to it.
Mhm. Mhm. This is amazing. I think it's a great conversation because I think so many people, um, we get caught up in distractions and we don't realize how important it is to have that heartfelt connection, to take that time to breathe. And, it's just the simple transitions. I was doing an interview this morning, and just the power of the breath is just something else. We just kind of take it for granted. We're so busy chasing dreams and business opportunities that we forget about the power of the breath. I love that you
Right.
bring that up.
Yeah, and a lot of
Mhm.
people don't realize it, but they're breathing really shallow too, And when you breathe, say, rhythmically with your
Mhm.
heartbeat, you actually have a fuller, deeper breath. And that rhythm is really a good way to get uh, the natural beat going again. I love that because, when you think about, say,
Mhm.
traditional, typical meditation, when people think of that, it's usually some kind of stillness practice, closing your
Mhm.
eyes, where this heartful harmony that I do, actually, you can do this with your eyes open driving a car. So you can pretty much do it anywhere, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, for real, it's
Love
true.
that.
You can do it with your eyes
That's
open.
amazing.
I could do it with my eyes
Mhm.
open talking. I'm trying not to
That's
show off,
amazing.
but yeah, you can do that. So, you can take it anywhere with you. But the coolest part is, people sometimes have negative attitudes about habits, but positive habits are amazing. If you get in the habit of breathing rhythmically with your heart, you don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just the default. You just automatically do it and you're just calm. And being in your heart creates this sense of safety and a sense of calm.
I
So,
love
it's
that.
like a place you can go to anytime really quickly, really easily. Actually, one of the groups I just did before coming on here was people. Everybody was saying like, "Oh, you're so calm. Your voice is so calming." And it's like, well, I don't know. It's just this is just the way I talk. I don't know, and I don't know if I'm talking calm right now, but but that I think when I thought about it, I really hadn't thought
Yeah.
about it till somebody asked me, and a couple people were commenting on it, and I think that's part of it, being in my heart and having that sense of calm and not being stressed out, not being fearful, feeling safe, not resistance to experience. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not that things don't show up. I mean, you can have anger and fear and different emotions show up, but there's no resistance to it. So it's easier to just kind of stay in a calm state and not be so reactive. That's what I've been doing, say, with my heartful parent thing. That's something a lot of parents work on, is not being so reactive or getting triggered, and being centered in the rhythm of your heart really helps to reduce some of that triggering stuff. Not everyone feels like a
That's
super
great.
mom. Some people do, but yeah, it takes a while to become a super mom, I bet. When did you start to feel like you were
Hey,
really
you
hitting
know
your super momness?
Hey, you know what? That's just me, okay?
What?
Because my kids remind me all the time that I am just mom. This super mom stuff, they just think it's a joke sometimes. But I think it really is collaboration. It's kind of like, I look at it as really, how Superman had a cape. And there's certain things that when you get with that cape on, you kind of mentally prepare yourself for a job you have to do. And so I think that's pretty much how I look at it is, I just choose to show up. Every day may not be a good day, but I surround myself with people like yourself because we do have those conversations. Hey, we got to figure out how can we work smarter and harder. How can we have an impact on this app or whatever it is. And, it takes time to come up with strategy. In that room that we get into, we talk about some ideas to help us to be better. And I think it's that intention that really helps me because, I have the reality of realizing that I'm not an island. I can't do it by myself. And it's a reminder that you need people to help you, support you. You can't do it alone. And they can help be the vision that you sometimes don't have when you do have those times.
Yeah, that's something I really admire
Collaboration.
about you when we first met too, is just how genuine you are and really
Mhm.
grounded. That,
Oh.
but that's just it. Some people can get so stressed, and it takes something. I
Mhm.
mean, like, you may not have thought about like how to be in your heart or practice it, but you know how to do it, man. You know how to do it. I can just tell by your energy and the way you are that you just know
Oh.
how to do that. So. But it's nice
It
to
came with
understand
it
it.
came with a lot of bumping my head up against the wall, right? 13
Yeah.
years of depression.
Hey, I got a
It's like
story too.
now I
Everybody's got.
finally see. Yeah.
Yep. That was another thing. That whole thing is not in my bio thing. Everybody's got some kind of trauma or struggles in their life, and I've
Yeah.
really come to the belief that the only way to approach any other human being is with compassion, because everybody's got
So
something
true.
you don't know about. So that's
Mhm.
just kind of one of my strategies.
So
And if you
true.
meet people that are really happy and
Love it.
joyful, it's usually because they've gone through a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. Some of the most happy, joyful people
That's
I know are like have been through horrible things in experience, but that's part of what makes you strong, or
yeah.
makes you find the truth, what's really important. You're
So
saying that
true.
thing too this past year. That's the biggest thing I think for most people. It's really finding out what's important and what do we value and put our priorities on. So it's a lot easier to cut off a lot of the stuff that's not important and just focus
So
on what
true.
is important. Yeah.
So true. Well, this has just been a wonderful
Yeah.
connection, conversation. I have totally enjoyed it. What is the best way for the audience to get a hold of you?
Well, all of my contact information's on pretty much all of my sites. The easiest one would be heartfulharmony.com. That's heartfulharmony.com.
Mhm.
It's got my contact info and all that stuff on there. And actually, the heartfulness stuff we were just talking about, the breathe relaxing, there's everything's free. I
Mhm.
don't have anything to sell yet. That's really a bad business decision, but but it's all on there. People can download a little, outline how to do the harmony refresh and do it on their own. And you can always message me personally. My phone number's on there, everything. I'm easy to get a hold of. Does that work? Heartfulharmony.com.
Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much. It's really fun to spend some time with you. I'm really grateful.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have really enjoyed it and looking forward to more collaborations. And I do plan on coming and visiting your club. I think that's a great, heartfelt uh, opportunity to really kind of have that time to get around it. You know, I think those are the things that kind of help you on your journey. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you come co-host with me? You can talk about your passion
Absolutely. I
and
would
your
love
life.
to.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do
I
that.
would,
I'll
I
send you a
would love to.
message. You send me a message.
Okay.
And I've been missing your elephant
Sounds
room
good.
too because the mornings aren't the best time for me. We can talk off thing for about this, but I've been wanting to come to your other room that you do. It sounds so great, and I only was able to get in
Okay.
there a few times, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we're
definitely
gonna.
have you come be a guest speaker talking
Hey,
about the heartfelt connection. So yeah.
yeah. All of our friends that want to get on Clubhouse with us because
Mhm.
it's really cool. Did we mention it's really cool? We got a lot more invites for my room now, so we can invite people. So any of your friends that
Okay.
want to like get on Clubhouse, let me know. We'll get them invited.
I will. Well, this has
Yeah.
been great. We want to thank you so much for joining us and thank you guys all for watching and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now. Bye.